MLEM Space Agency. This is a Rhino Knizia game, and it truly is one of my favorite games of 2024. Now, you are catastronauts. Cats? Anyway, your cat's going up rockets, going visiting all these different planets and moons. It is great fun, but the question I have is games that are just pure push your luck. Is there actually any strategy to these games at all? The humble D6 dice. Now, dice have been around an absolute millennia and is still one of the most famous primary components that we use in modern board gaming right now. Now, Dr. Rhino Knizia wrote a book himself called Dice Games Properly Explained, and he probably wrote it a millennia ago, but anyway, in this book, he talks about all things dice games, but especially the fact about this humble dice. Now, these dice are exciting and direct, and they give people the feeling of agency in situations when they are actually truly powerless. And that really just blew my mind, thinking, you're right, every time I roll these dice, these humble dice, I have no control over that dice roll. But thank goodness Dr. Rhino Knizia thought about that. There's a whole bunch more in this game. So let's go check out MLEM right now, and let's go see how lucky or unlucky my dice rolls truly are. And welcome to the world of MLEM, where we are cats going up rocket ships and exploring all of these crazy planets and moons. Now, we have a 3-player game set up for us, and what we're going to do in this game is we're just going to go through 2 more rounds. The next 2 rounds in the game, we're already 2 rounds in. We'll play the next 2 rounds just so you can get the vibes of how MLEM plays. Now, I mentioned 3-player setup. Now, I do want to mention that we are playing with 2 advanced variants over the top of the standard base game, and the first one here are these secret objective tiles. Now, what we have here is we've got different moons and different planets that each player secretly is going for. Now, normally these would be turned over and they'd be secret, but obviously in this run through, we can keep them open. But if they achieve 1 objective, they get 2 points. They achieve 2 objectives, they get 5 points. And they achieve 3 objectives, they get 10 points. So that's how those secret missions work. The other one here is the exploration tokens. Now, these are 5 tokens that are constantly, randomly placed out on the board on their particular number, and they're going to give the commander extra benefits along their mission. So this one's going to give them a dice back. This one's going to give the commander points. There's another one that actually moves the rocket ship further up. Now, I've noticed playing the base game, it's quite often really hard to get up to these galaxies up here, up the top. It's really hard. But with this extra advanced variant of exploration tiles, it makes it a lot easier. So these are 2 variants that I like to play with. Okay, excellent. Now we are ready to go. Now, pink player is currently the first player. They're the commander of this rocket ship, and they've chosen to use the 2 times moon. So they really want to land on a moon because that would give them double points. So right now, we've already landed on 1 moon. They got 3 points there, but if they had used that token and landed on there, they would have got 6 points instead. So that's how that works. The other one we have here is I want to talk about here. Oh, look, yellow was the commander on the last mission, and they managed to get an extra 2 bonus points landing on one of these exploration tokens. So that's how the game's unfolded, and we've already crashed once, and actually yellow was very lucky as well because they managed to, on their turn, to parachute off on that, I think it was the first round. So look, things are looking good. Okay, let's get straight into it. So pink's now chosen their catstronaut. Yellow chose the +1 die. So it's the equivalent of having an extra dice worth 1 pip. So that's how that works. And then blue has chosen that parachute. So if the rocket is about to crash into a planet or a moon, they can parachute off to safety just like yellow did a couple of rounds back, or last round. Okay, now we are ready to roll the dice. Pink is the commander, and let's roll the dice. What have we got here? We have 1 afterburner. We've got a 2 there, we've got a 3, 2 4s, and a 1. So a nice variant there, nice variety. Okay, we're starting here on the 0 on the rocket ship. Now, this one is saying to us, we can either use afterburners, 1 pip dice, or 2 pip dice. Now, we have all 3 available to us. Now, if we use any of these dice, we must use everything that's in that particular row. So if we had the 4s, if we were using the 4s for instance, I would have to use both 4s. You can't just use one of them, you'd have to use both. Now, I'm going to choose to use just the afterburner. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because the afterburner always comes back to you. Now, if I'd use, say, the 1, problem is I've now lost that dice. That dice would have been gone, so for the next round, I would have only had 5 dice. But because I use the afterburner, I'm just going to move up 1, and I get the afterburner dice back. Nice and easy. No one's going to do anything just yet because there's nothing to jump off. We are still just in the atmosphere here, just about to take off there. Okay, so that's the first roll. Next one, let's go. we've got one afterburner, a whole bunch of twos, yeah, a whole bunch of twos, and a 1 there. So we need afterburners 1s or 3s. So the 2s are absolutely useless to us. I'm going to use the afterburner. I'm playing it nice and safe at the moment. Just move up another one there. Freebie action. Let's go. Here we go. Next round. An afterburner, 2s, 4, and a 1. Now we want afterburners 1s and 3s. Now this one's telling me afterburners are now worth 2 points each. So that's good. So we're definitely going to use the afterburner. We're going to move up 1, 2, and that's it again. All these free actions, you notice these afterburners, a lot of them down the bottom. It just helps you get going. Okay, now we're looking for 1s and 4s. So we've got 1s there, we've got a whole bunch of 2s, and that's all we've got. So we have to use the 1s. So we've got 2 1s there. So we're going to go 1, 2. We've used both of those dice there, and now out of that round, now people have a decision. Do they want to get off on this moon? Look, someone here, the pink one, wants double points, but it would be double points of 2. So maybe they want to do that. Maybe they want to try and go higher, but a lot of these moons are already taken. They'd have to get all the way up here to get real maximum points. But for now, I think it's early days. They're not going to jump off just yet. Yellow's comfortable and blue's definitely not going to jump off. So we've got 4 dice left. We're after 1s, 2s, and 4s. Pink's still in control. And we've got afterburner, we've got 2 4s, and we've got a 2. So, we have decisions. Now, I'm actually going to use the 2 dice. I'm going to use the 4s. I'm going to move up 8. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we moved all the way up there. Those 2 dice are now gone. Now we have decisions. Look, pink is going to play cautious. There's 2 dice left, but they're not 100% confident they're going to get up to these moons. So they might just jump off now. Remember, they got the double moon. So they're going to jump off here. This moon is still worth 2 points. So they'll actually get 4 points. So we'll give 4 points to pink there. Now that the commander's jumped off, you're like, Commander, who's going to drive the ship? Well, yellow's now going to drive the ship. So yellow's the new commander. So yellow's now in control. Remember, yellow still has the 1 die available and the blue has their parachute. So we've got 2 dice. We're after 3s and 4s. So that 1 is useless. That 1 pip dice is useless to us at the moment. So here we go. Yellow is banking on getting a 3 or a 4 here. And unfortunately, we got 2 afterburners. So the rocket has now crashed. So we moved the rocket up 1. When we get to the end there, that's the end of the game. Problem is, yellow, unfortunately, you are now coming back. Well, I mean, I don't know thematically what it is. I don't want to think that they've crashed and burned, but who knows. Anyway, that astronaut's now come back. But blue, lucky old blue, had their parachute. So they get to jump off that flailing rocket ship as it's coming crumpling down to the moon. They parachute off, and they're also going to get 2 points for doing that. So well done, blue. Okay, so that is the end of that round. Let's play another round. We get all of our dice back. Now, let's say blue is now, I think it's actually to the left. Actually, we'll go yellow next as the next commander. So let's see, who are we going to use? Now, yellow is going to go, do you know what? If I'm the commander, I want to make sure I start with the satellite, because that's going to give me an advantage, because satellite means we're going to start the rocket ship earlier. Now, blue, what are they going to use? Well, they might use this one here. So this one allows them to go +1 or -1 wherever the rocket ship. So let's say the rocket ship is here. Blue could choose to get off up at 11, or they could get off at number 9. They can go +1 or -1. That's what that blue icon means. And pink, well, pink, let's see. Pink's just going to go, look, I've learned my lesson. I'm going to see what you guys did, and I'm going to use that parachute to be nice and safe. So remember, we're starting off with the yellow satellite. So it means we start off here on the satellite symbol. So we are ready to go. 6 dice. Yellow's the commander. Let's roll. We have 3s, 1, and a whole bunch of 2s. No afterburners. Okay, so what we're going to do, we need 2s or 3s. I think in this instance, let's use both of the 3s. Otherwise, we would have had to use all 3 of these 2 dice, which seems a lot for not much gain when I can use 2 dice for the same amount. Let's go up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're up to here. 2 dice are gone. Let's go again. No one's jumping off yet. 2s and 4s we need. Oh, we got a couple of 4s and some stuff that's rubbish and not useful to us at all. So we've got 2 4s. So we're going to go up 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we're all the way up the top here. Now, we've got 2 moons here worth 2 points each. Does anyone want to jump off? Well, maybe, but I think blue's going to be smart. they're going to jump off, but they're going to use their +1. So their +1 means they're going to actually jump off up on this one here, which means they're going to, instead of jumping off here and getting 2 points, they're going to jump off on this moon instead and get 3 points. So let's put them on there, and they've gained 3 points. So blue's smart, pink's now up there. Pink's not going to jump off yet. Yellow, well, yellow wants to go up as high as possible. So let's roll again. We need 2s, 3s, and 4s. And we got 2s and 4s. So do we want to go up here? If we went up 2, we'd be going here and we'd be landing on this planet. If we went up 4, we'd be here. And for the commander, that makes the most sense because they're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're going to land on this icon here, which actually gives that commander 3 more points. So for the yellow commander, they're getting all of these bonus points here. And you know, bonus points, always great. As soon as we use one of those exploration icons, we pour out another one, and this one goes on spot number 17. So we used the number 4 die. There's 1 dice left. Now the commander always has 1 die. So if we use this dice and we use it, we always get it back. The commander always has 1 dice, unless they obviously crash. Now, what have we got here? We've got, so we've got yellows use that. Now, should yellow jump off maybe? I think yellow is going to jump off. They're going to go, do you know what? There's only 1 dice left. We can only get afterburners or 2s. So they're going to jump off and grab the 3 points there. Excellent. So what color was that? It was yellow. Okay. And lastly, we have pink moving up to the commander. They got 1 dice left. They've got the parachute. They don't care. They're absolute YOLO on this one. They're going to roll the dice and try and get all the way up the top here. Let's go. And they got a 2, which is exactly what they needed. So 1, 2. And who we got? Pink. So pink gets 2 points. Well done, you, pink. Another one of these comes out. It's in spot 24, which is good. Okay, now we need an afterburner or a 3. Let's keep rolling. Push your luck. Come on, Knizia. Here we go. And we got a 3. 1, 2, 3. And we are all the way to the top. We've reached max chickens. And because they're the first one up there, or because they're the commander up there, they're going to get put their little catstronaut on number 7. And I couldn't have played that any better if I wanted. There we go. 2 rounds of MLEM. What do you think? Well, let's go back and let's have a look. Well, let's have a chat about the pros and cons of this game. This game has thought of everything. Even if you're a dog lover, aren't we? We're dog lovers. They have a promo here called BLEP, which is all about doggos in space. So I kind of love that. Now, you're all done, Matilda. Thank you very much. Look, MLEM is such a great game, and I love that push your luck element. And I did a fair bit of research into push your luck games, and it goes back pretty much to the 14th century. It was the first board game that we found out, which was purely push your luck, which was called Hazard, which basically turned into modern day craps, which I thought was such a cool little piece of information. Now, the other thing I thought about with MLEM is, where did Ryan Knizia get his inspiration from? Well, I think it's probably from Celestia and Cloud9. Now, they're 2 board games. Cloud9 was the original. Celestia was like an updated version of that. And basically, in Celestia, you are going along in this rocket ship in the future, and you got to jump off at certain spots, exactly like MLEM. So look, seems a bit weird saying that Ryan Knizia got inspiration from someone else, but I don't know. It's coincidence, coinkydink. Anyway, look, if you like MLEM, then you're going to love Celestia. So go check that out. Anyway, so look, that's everything about the game and push your luck and everything like that. But I want to talk about the pros, the cons, and the comparisons. And firstly, the pros. Let's just chat about how beautiful is neoprene game mats and this main board right here. The planets, everything's exploding in color. It is so beautiful. It is such a simple game to pick up, and everyone's going to love this table presence. So a lot to love with how this game looks. The other thing I really like about this game is, look, there is some advanced variants in it. So you can just play the base game, or you can just add in these basic little variants. There's a UFO one as well. Now the UFO one was a little bit confused with how that works, pretty much why I didn't explain on here, because I still wasn't 100% comfortable with it. But basically, the UFO's coming back on the track while you're going up, and once you meet it, something happens. Anyway, look, there's that. But the thing is, this is one of those introductory games that people are gonna love board games with. Like, they're gonna go, this is what? This is modern board gaming? Well, sign me up, because this is amazing. So, look, I think the pros, look, you heard me speak about the game. I absolutely loved it. But look, there are some cons, and I think the main con is this game truly shines at 3 to 5 players. There is, like, you can play it at 2 players, but it's not anywhere near as good, and there's no solo, and so it really needs that higher play count for this to get maximum effectiveness. So just something to think about. As long as you get 3 or 4 players, then you're going to absolutely love this. Now, the next con I want to talk about is, and we touched on it right at the start, the lack of strategy. Your only decisions are basically when to get off the rocket and which astronaut you're going to choose at the start. So they're your sole decisions. But those decisions feel even limited when you're not the commander as well. So when you're not the commander, you're at the whim of whoever has those dice, where they're going to go, which dice they're going to choose. And unfortunately, sometimes it just doesn't help you. And to be honest, playing as the commander, you don't want to help your opposition. That makes sense. So, if you're a control freak and you hate not being in control of your own destiny, well, this game might just be a little bit irritable when that rocket ship's crashing in the plane. You're like, why did you pick those dice, you doofus head? So look, that's pretty much it. Look, I don't really want to go too much more into cons and pros. Look, I love this game so much. This is going to be one of my favorite games of 2024. It is so good. Now look, if you are into push your luck games, obviously comparisons I'd say, or just other games to try out if you haven't, if you've been living under a rock, Quacks of Quedlinburg, Clank, Deep Blue. Deep Blue is a very underrated game. I love that. You're going diving deep for all these treasures, and there's a big push your luck element. And very similar to that is Deep Sea Adventure from Oink Games. So there's a few there to try out. But look, that's pretty much all I have. This is just such a beautiful game, a light game. I love it more than anything in this world. I think this is just outstanding, and I could not wait to get my hands on it. I first played it at PAX Oz this year, and as soon as I played it, I knew this game was for me. So there you go. That's all I have. Anyway, till next time, I'm Hogs. This is MLEM. Laters.